Let's learn. Activity 1. Take a rectangular paper. Place two opposite sides one upon the other. They coincide exactly. Activity 2. Using the ruler, measure the lengths of segment AB and segment PQ. Length of AB is equal to length of PQ is equal to. Are they of the same length? You cannot pick up and place one segment over the other. Trace the segment AB along with the names of the points on a sheet of transparent paper. Place this new segment on segment PQ. Verify that if point A is placed on point P, then B falls on Q. It means that segment AB is congruent with segment PQ. We can infer from this that if two segments have the same lengths, they coincide exactly with each other. That is, they are congruent. If segment AB and segment PQ are congruent, it is written as segment AB congruent to segment PQ. Now I know. If given segments are equal in length, they are congruent. If segment AB is congruent to segment PQ, it means that segment PQ is congruent to segment AB. Note also that if segment AB is congruent to segment PQ and segment PQ is congruent to segment MN, then segment AB is also congruent to segment MN. In other words, if one line segment is congruent to another and that segment is congruent to a third, then the first segment is also congruent to the third. Activity 1. Take any box. Measure the lengths of each of its edges. Which of them are congruent? Activity 2. From the shape shown below, write the names of the pairs of congruent line segments. 1. Segment AB is congruent to segment DC. 2. Segment AE is congruent to segment BH. 3. Segment EF is congruent to segment HG. 4. Segment DF is congruent to segment CG. Now students, let's solve the practice set 6. Let's start with the first question. Question number 1. Write the names of pairs of congruent line segments. Use a divider to find them. Answer. 1. Segment GB is congruent to segment GC. 2. Segment MG is congruent to segment GR, which is congruent to segment GN, which is congruent to segment GE. Now, let's solve the second question of this practice set. Question number 2. On the line below, the distance between any two adjoining points shown on it is equal. Hence, fill in the blanks. Answer. 1. Segment AB is congruent to segment BC, which is congruent to segment QP, which is congruent to segment PZ, which is congruent to segment ZY, which is congruent to segment YX, which is congruent to segment XW, which is congruent to segment WA. 2. Segment AP is congruent to segment WQ, which is congruent to segment ZB, which is congruent to segment YC. 3. Segment AC is congruent to segment QZ, which is congruent to segment ZX, which is congruent to segment XA, which is congruent to segment PY, which is congruent to segment YW, which is congruent to segment WB. Students, I have solved 3 sub-questions of second question of this practice set. Now you have to solve the remaining sub-questions on your own for your better practice. Congruence of angles. Let's learn. Observe the given angles and write the names of those having equal measures. Write the names of congruent pairs of angles. Angle ABC is congruent to angle MPS. Angle NIT is congruent to angle SRI. Angle PTQ is congruent to angle RTS. Activity. Draw 2 angles, angle LMN and angle XYZ of 40 degrees each as shown in the figure. Trace the arms of angle LMN and the names of the points on a transparent paper. Now, lift the transparent paper and place the angle you obtain on angle XYZ. Observe that if point M is placed on Y and ray MN on ray YZ, then ray ML falls on ray YX. We can infer that angles of equal measures are congruent. The congruence of angles does not depend on the length of their arms. It depends upon the measures of those angles. That angle LMN is congruent with angle XYZ is written as angle LMN is congruent to angle XYZ. Now I know. 2 angles with equal measures are congruent to each other. If angle LMN is congruent to angle XYZ, then angle XYZ is congruent to angle LMN. If angle LMN is congruent to angle ABC and angle ABC is congruent to angle XYZ, then angle LMN is congruent to angle XYZ. Now students, let's have some information about clock. Let's discuss. What time does this clock show? 3. What is the measure of the angle between its 2 hands? 90 degrees angle. At which other times is the angle between the hands congruent with this angle? 9. Now students, let's solve practice set 7. Question. Some angles are given below. Using the symbol of congruence, write the names of the pairs of congruent angles in these figures. Answer. 1. Angle AOC is congruent to angle PQR. 2. Angle AOB is congruent to angle TSR. 3. Angle DOC is congruent to angle LMN. Congruence of circles. Let's learn. Activity 1. Observe the circles in the figures above. Draw similar circles of radii 1 cm, 2 cm, 1 cm and 1.3 cm on a paper and cut these circular discs. Place them one upon the other to find out which ones coincide exactly. Observations. 1. The circles in A and C coincide. 2. Circles in figure B and C and in figure A and D do not coincide. Are there other pairs like these? Circles which coincide exactly are said to be congruent circles. Activity 2. Get bangles of different sizes but equal thickness and find the congruent ones among them. Activity 3. Find congruent circles in your surroundings. Activity 4. Take some round bowls and plates. Place their edges one upon the other to find pairs of congruent edges. Now I know. Circles of equal radii are congruent circles. ICT tools or links. Use the construction tools in the GeoGebra software to draw triangles and circles.